want your opinion on something, and I hope and pray that you all will just give your opinion of what I'm about to talk about. You know, I had an opportunity to, you know, sometimes I skim through things on YouTube and Facebook and what have you. And if anybody, whether you go to church or you don't go to church, there are some things that I would love to share with you on today. And it's not really about, so to speak, a word or about church, but I was looking at a video of this one young lady on YouTube. She was ministering, I guess, the word of God, you know, her way. But I don't know if this was just a trick of hers to try to get people to chime in on her channel, or more men or whatever to look at her channel or station or whatever. But she was up there teaching the word of God, and she had, I mean, her cleavage was way out there. When I tell you, her basically her breasts, just about everything except for her nipples, were hanging out, you know. And she didn't have a problem with that, and she has the Bible in front of her, and she's reading the Word of God. You know, I'm not being in judgment, anything like that. Not just her, but I have viewed some other pictures and of other ministers, and they are taking pictures. And I understand you being a woman of God, and when they show their pictures, they're showing, I mean, a lot of extra cleavage, you know. And this is just me. And, you know, I just feel like, you know, as people of God, we have to set a standard. You know, there has to be a standard. You know, there has to be a limit to what you do. You know, we are in this world, but as leaders in the church, we really should not be portraying or exhibiting worldly mentality. You know, especially if we're telling people, you know, that, you know, according to the Word of God, that we need to live this way, or that we need to live a certain way, you know, and then we turn around and then all of a sudden we're kind of, you know, on the edge of the things that we say not to do, you know. And I know the Bible tells us there's going to be a great falling away. And sometimes I think that's what we're seeing, you know. There's a great falling away happening. You know, people are, you know, they're not living according to the standard, you know. I'm not saying that we have to go back to the day where we wore stockings so thick that you couldn't even see the leg at all, or I'm not saying we have to go back to the day where we have to wear doilies and beanies on our heads and shirts all the way up to here, things like that, and we have to go around toting a Bible like we're so holy. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that yes, we have to be relatable to the world, especially if we are trying to inspire the world to make a change. But I think we got to set some limitations here. You know, too often as men and women of God, we are really losing our integrity. And that's why a lot of times I feel that people don't have the respect for church like they used to have. People don't have respect for the men and women of God. When I was going to church, you know, your pastor, you know, it was a certain way. You respected that office. You respected the deacons and the trustees, even down to the mothers of the church. You know, we had respect for them. I'm not talking about we got to go back to that time where the mothers of the church were always condemning people, and your dress is too short, and you're this and you're that. What I'm saying is that for those that are coming to church and, you know, they're still on milk, and, you know, or even on Pablo, you know, you expect some of these things from them, but not for the ones that have been in the church, in the body, not for the leaders. You know, you don't expect a leader to be still on milk, and you're walking around here doing things and presenting yourselves in ways that totally don't line up with what you're talking about. I think we got to go back to some things and set a standard and understand that, I know everybody's trying to get popular, and they're trying to get these mega churches, and trying to get people to come in, and they feel like I got to be a certain way and do a certain thing. But I'm going to tell you something. You better be careful. You know what I mean? As the Bible says, what profits a man to gain the whole wide world and lose his soul? Some things are really not worth it. So we got to get back to that standard. And even for us that are believers, we got to get back to a standard. I saw a video one time, a church choir, and this was actually in church on I guess a Sunday morning or whatever. The girl was in church twerking. What? I understand that we want to be wise to win souls, but there's still a standard that we have to uphold when we're doing this. Do you all agree that sometimes we get a little overboard with what we do in church? We get so into the things of the world until, we just lose focus. We really lose focus on why we're there.